Hey, it's Dot, and today I am making a juicy, fall off the bone tender lemon herb chicken in my low carb kitchen. Right, this is a real basic recipe, not a whole lot of ingredients. However, it is slow cooked at 350 for 2 hours, and I'll show you how to do it because I do it covered and uncovered. But anyway, I'm gonna get started. Typically today's a day where I go grocery shopping, and it's also my food prep day. So a lot of my recipes this week are gonna have chicken. Chicken's the base. So I'm making a ton of chicken today. So this first batch is gonna be a whole chicken that I'm using. So it's 8 pieces. It's 2 wings, 2 thighs, 2 drumsticks, and 2 breasts. So I like to put them in my roasting pan so that it doesn't crowd as much as possible. I like them a little bit open, although if it's crowded, it's okay. But I should be able to get the whole chicken in here. Just sort of have to mess around. There we go. So all I'm gonna do now is just start seasoning the chicken. I've got salt, pepper, paprika. I have 3 fresh herbs. You don't have to use fresh herbs. If you just want a poultry mix, that's perfectly fine. If you wanna use garlic, smoked paprika, whatever you want, it really is up to you how you want it to season and taste. So what I'm gonna do first is actually use my fat, which I'm using duck fat. And pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just gonna rub it on the chicken. I'm gonna coat the skin because I want the skin to be crispy when it comes out of the oven. I'm also gonna put some, as I go, on the bottom of my pan too. So the bottom gets a little fat in there. You can use butter and you can use ghee. I just like duck fat for the flavor. It tends, I find, to really crisp it up nicely. And again, I'm going to also do the pan as I go. I probably should have done it before I put in a chicken, but that's okay. All right, I have got the whole chicken in here. The thighs I'm gonna cook with are gonna go into a different pot, and I'm gonna, or a roasting pan, and I'm gonna season them a little differently than this chicken because this has breast, and I wanna make sure the breasts have a little bit more flavor and are a little bit more juicy and tender, so that's what I'm working on. Breasts don't have as much fat as the rest of the chicken, so you just wanna make sure you season it up a little bit better for the flavoring. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add some kosher salt. I'm adding about a teaspoon of kosher salt to the chicken. So don't worry about over salting the chicken. A lot of it does come off into cooking too, so keep that in mind as it releases its fat. So I got that seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and add some fresh cracked pepper, or I grounded it in my little grinder. And then I'm gonna add some fresh herbs. I'm using thyme, rosemary, and sage in here. So I'm just gonna season it. And I'm really gonna season it because I want that herb flavor in there. You don't have to use these herbs. You can use whatever you want, and you certainly don't have to use fresh. But if you use ground herbs, just keep in mind you don't have to use as many. I'm using about a tablespoon of each of these, and you wouldn't do that if you're using ground. Now, I'm gonna add some paprika. This will help with giving it a little bit of color when you're browning it. All right, I use about 1/3 of a small lemon. I juiced it. Just sprinkle a little bit on there. So it's not that much lemon juice, although I am using the whole lemon in this. I especially want to get the breast. And then what I'm gonna do is add just some lemon slices to the chicken on top. I'm putting it mostly on the breast. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. You cover it in tin foil. My oven is preheating at 350. It's gonna go in for an hour. Hour later, I'm gonna come in and check on the chicken. Okay, I just took it out of the oven. It's been in for an hour, so I'm gonna take it off. You can see it's, a lot of juice in there from the chicken, which is awesome. Mixed in with the lemon and the duck fat, and it smells absolutely wonderful. So what you're gonna do now is I'm going to move the onions, the lemons, and I'm gonna focus on getting the skin all nice and crispy now. So it's gonna go back in the oven for about an hour. It's been 2 hours. The chicken is out of the oven. It smells absolutely wonderful. You can really smell the herbs on it. It looks delicious. It has a nice crispy skin when you touch it. I don't want to go too far because it is very, very hot right now. It just came out of the oven. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the other batch of just chicken thighs in the oven. And like I said, this is a great way to make food ahead of time, so there's no excuses about going out. I have to go out to lunch. I didn't have time to make my lunch in the morning, or there's no time for dinner. This way, the chicken, it's already cooked, already prepared. All you have to do is heat it back up and then prepare whatever side dish you want to do. So it makes so much easier food prep. If you just take a little bit of time, the time you take on a Sunday afternoon or right after you go to the grocery shopping, an hour or two, saves you time during the entire week, and you'll make sure you eat healthy. Plus, the added benefit, like I said before, is that when you get whole chicken or chicken with the skin on it, it always is cheaper than something without the skin on it, and it's healthier too. You want to eat the chicken with the skin on it. So hopefully you'll give this recipe a try. It's really just use it in your wheelhouse as something really basic that you do. That's not a whole lot of effort on your part other than making sure it doesn't burn in the oven. If you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends. Until next time, I'll see ya.